Hello everybody, this is Naomi. I'm coming today to do another little quick, simple DIY things that I've gotten from Dollar Tree. And whenever I seen this picture frame, an idea popped into my head. And this is what I've made. Excuse me, relearning my camera again. I made like a little note, and then this is a little chalkboard, and you can hang your keys here. I'm always losing my keys, so I was thinking this would be an ideal thing to where I could put it right out my door. And if, say, I was gone, somebody called, got a message, or we ran out of something, they could leave me a note here saying, hey, we need bread and tea. So I'm going to move you down to the bottom so that I can show you how to make it and what we need. So thank you, and we'll be right back. Okay, so to start with, you're going to need a piece of just scrap wood. It can be scrap wood, it can be brand new wood, it doesn't matter. I just happen to have a bunch of these little laths. They're 1 inch, so you're going to need a piece of that. Then you're going to need your Dollar Tree frame for $1. And I had found this a while back at Dollar Tree. It's chalkboard paper. And I've been hoarding it because I didn't have a DIY that I wanted to use it for. So this is going to come in handy for that. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need a knife. You're going to need a pencil. And the chalk you can get in any of the kids section. This one came off of a jar that I had bought, so I'm going to use it. You're going to need a couple of push pins, a regular thumbtack, 2 J-hooks, and some of the adhesive corkboard from Dollar Tree, and a piece of cardboard. So, let me set these here, and we will get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open this up. We are going to pull this sticker off, so we don't need it, and I'm going to try to do as less damage to this as possible. And I just use an old putty knife, and I will get in here and just kind of finagle this to come off without really messing it up, because I don't want to do a lot of damage to it. And this works out a lot. See what I'm saying? So there's very little damage. And if you don't really like that part, you can take a black marker and just kind of dabble over it. You'll never be none the wiser. So there's that. I mean, no biggie. So now we're going to pull up the tabs. You can either remove them or leave them. I left mine because I wanted the extra support. Take everything out. Be careful not to cut yourself with the points. The good thing that I like about these is they have rounded everything, but they're still pretty sharp. Don't throw these away because you can use them in another DIY. So I'm going to lay that over there, out of my way. But isn't this just the cutest thing? And I'm going to do something different with this. This wood really sucked up the color, and I really wasn't happy about it, so I'm going to try something different right here. So, but other than that, I thought it was cute. I made a little holder for your chalk to go into, and it's on a stretchy string. so you don't lose it and it gets repeat. So even if you don't put it back, it's still attached. Because you know how some people are, kids don't put things back where they're supposed to, so that's why I did that. So, okay, and you don't need this. All you need is this, and I am leaving this piece here, just so you can hang it on it. So, the first thing that I did, I figured out how big of a piece of corkboard I wanted in the top up here, and then I just cut it out of my corkboard. And I've already pretty much, what I did, I'm going to be really honest, what I did is I just took this piece and I started in my corner like this, and I cut out my line to how far down I wanted and come across, and there was my piece. And I've already done that with this one, so there's that. The other thing that you're going to need now, you need the backing again. So you figure this is going to go here, and you may have a little hangover which you can cut off once you're done. So now you figure, here's this piece, and it ain't got to be perfect because this is all going to be inside your frame lip. So if it's off just a little bit, that ain't no big deal. You're not ever going to see it. So now what you want to figure is what you're going to need this piece, because you want to try to keep it the same thickness so that I'm just going to put a mark here, and I'm going to put a mark, I'm going to draw my line here on the back. You're not going to see it anyways. That way I can line this up with the top here and get it as square as possible, which this one was a little off as it was, so I'm just gonna do it the best I can. And I'm going to draw my box around it. So there's that piece. You take your scissors. I had fun doing this. Like I said, I'm constantly losing my keys, and I thought, what can I do? So whenever I seen that little house, I thought, I know what I'm going to make with that. It's not very big, it's not very bulky, be perfect for what I want. So I have a drawer here that I keep all of my chunk pieces of, and see, it fits perfectly. And like I said, if it turns out once you glue it down and it's a little bit bigger, you can trim it off. It's not going to hurt nothing. So what I did, I just took this paper and I unrolled it to here. I put the clamp there so that it wouldn't unravel any further than what I needed, and I took this and I just went just like so, and if it's a little bigger, that's great. I'll show you why. So just roll this back up, and you'll be able to slide it back in your paper. And I kept that just for that, so that it would be easier for me to put this back on here and keep it to where it doesn't unroll and I don't have to put any more tape on here, because it had a small piece of tape holding it around. And that's all you're going to need of this, is just this little bitty piece right here. That's it. So, and as you see, there's a piece of tape right here that didn't get removed, so I'm going to remove it. Okay, so all I did was take and pull this corner back, just like this, and try not to touch it much. And then I centered it in here like this, laid it down, and I took it, and see that helps keep a lot of the air bubbles out of it. Then I took and grabbed this under piece, and I walked. There you go. And it doesn't matter if it's catty corner or whopper chopped, because you're not going to see that. Now, take your scissors and do an angle cut. That way you can lay this down. And you just dispose of your small pieces. Now, I'm just going to take my smaller pieces and fold them over. Just like that. Take your smaller piece, fold it over. Smaller piece, fold it over. Your smaller piece, and fold it over. Voila. There's that. Then I took my fabric tack paint or glue, this won't take you no time to do. I took the fabric tack paint glue and just smeared it good inside, just like so. Got a little bit off the edge. So now you come over here and you line her up just like that. Press her down real good. Oops. Slide back. There we go. So there's that. Okay, so now you're just going to take you some glue, run your bead along the edge, and just, it ain't going to be perfect because it does have sticky, but I thought I'd rather have the extra. Okay, so now that you got your glue down, pull your sticky off your back. Sorry, my husband come in while I had started. So now you're just going to line your corkboard up to your piece, just like so. And just tack her down real good. And like I said, if you've got any that hang over just a little bit like this, take your scissors and lightly just cut it off, because it might affect it fitting back into your frame. But other than that, it shouldn't bother nothing. So, there's that part. So now we need to figure out our piece in here, which is just like this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this right on here like this. I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to mark it. Okay. So now I got that. And I used, no. While I'm at it, okay, this is going to be my middle. So let's see. Which side do I want to use? I want to put an M here. And then I'm going to go ahead and figure my pitch here. So put it on that line and figure out how far down. This is the way I did it. I just laid it here, figured out where it was going to set, and then I come over here and I made me a mark of where it was going to be. Did the same thing. And then once I got this one cut, I just duplicated it so that they would be the same size. No, I'm wrong. One's got to be a little bit smaller because what I did, I'm sorry, I overlapped. See how, because I wanted that point. So I made this one just a hair bit longer so that this one could slide up and this one slide to the edgings of it. And I want to duplicate that. So this one will be just a smidget longer. So I'm going to step over here and cut these real quick and I'll be right back. Now, I've got all of my pieces cut. This is my middle piece that will set just like this. These two are my steeples so that they will go on top. So, all we've got to do now is put this back in here. Sorry about that. That's my puppy. He's out in the backyard. So, that's all you do. And one of the things that I did before we got even started really good, it sounds like our neighbor's dog is out and he's having a coronary about it. Okay, so now we're just going to run a good bead of hot glue around the edges here to keep this from moving. Keep it from moving. Sorry, my glue stick is not wanting to do what it's supposed to do. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So just run you good bead all the way around. I love this glue gun because it gives me a nice fine line without big globs. I didn't know if I would like it when I got it, but I love it. It doesn't drip like a lot of the other ones. Okay, so there's that. Give it a few minutes and let it cool. And it's not going to go nowhere. Okay, so now we're going to flip her over. And see, you have a little bit of flux, but none on the sides here. So now I'm going to take this piece. Well, that was supposed to have been my... Oh, I know what I did. Okay. I goofed. So... I measured the outer edge and it wasn't supposed to be. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to put just a little bit of this Fabri-Tac around the edges and along this wall, along this side. Then I'm going to come right in the middle and put me a bead of glue, a hot glue. So, now, this is going to go right here on the edge of these two. So it's going to take up a little bit more space on this cork board, because I wanted you to have equal, you know, plenty of writing space down here too. So there's that, and that is holding good. All right, and I just kind of hold in on the sides so that the Fabri-Tac has a chance to adhere to the siding. So there's that. Then I took, I don't know if, you know, a lot of people like it, some don't, but I just took and kind of distressed the corners, but I don't think I'm going to do that on this one. I'm going to leave it because I like this part, and then I'll put that's the side I want down. So I'm going to put it just like this. And I'm going to put a strip of glue, like so. And I'm also going to put a strip of the hot glue right below that. Oh, I didn't need it all the way down, but I can clean that up. So that one's going to go like that. And I kept it on the table so that it would be flush with the picture frame. Just hold it good. And then come in here and do that and get rid of the glue that we overlapped. Because last time sorry about that. That was my daughter again. So now what I'm going to do so that I don't do that again, I'm just going to put me a bead of glue here. And here so that it will adhere together. Then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and get a good glue here. Lay it back down and put this in place. There it goes, and just hold it. Some of that old hot glue bubbled up. Oops. So, there's the roof of your little house. And then I just came back here and put a bead along the edgings here and here. And just kind of mat them together and let it dry. So there's that. Give it a minute and it'll be ready. Okay, so now I'm just going to put this underneath the edgings here. And I'm going to get my drill gun out. And I'm going to come in so far. And I'm going to drill me a hole. And I'm going to just kind of eyeball it. And I have a new toy that I have really been loving. It just cleans up my desk, gets rid of all of that. Isn't it cute? So, there's that. So now, I'm going to take my screws, or my J-hooks, and go ahead and get them in here. Yeah. So there's that one. Okay, there's that. And they don't come all the way through the back, so that's good. And as far as now your chalk, like I said, I'm going to take this little thumbtack and I'm going to put it over here on the side, and I'm just going to push it in so far. So now I'm going to take this little stretchy cord that I've got, and I'm going to cut this knot off of it because that's where it was tied to the other container. And I'm just going to make me a little loop in the end of it. Like so. And then I'm going to clip this little string off. Do this one the exact same way. Okay, now the one thing that I'm going to show you, I took my stylus like this. Where did my, here we go. I took my stylus and let me move this out of the way real quick. And I just made me a fine little groove around the bottom of this piece of chalk. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it meets all the way around. Don't have to be very deep, but you just want your string to be able to go in it and hold it. See how it is? All the way around. So now you take this piece and you loop it again. Take your outer string and run it through the hole. Come on, big fingers. Just like that. Slide that hoop down. Then you take and find your and you just pull it snug. Now, there's your holder for your chalk. So, now what I'm going to do is, it had a package that piece of chalk come in like this, and it was attached to my, I had got one of those canister jars at Dollar General, and it has a chalk label on it. So what I did, I just took one of the packages, figured out how big I needed the loop, and I took and opened this loop up, just like this, and I turned it inside out. So this black will be on the inside, and you don't need the whole piece, you just need so big. And then what I did, I took the fatty part of the chalk, because this one's narrow, and you just take and kind of bend it around it until you don't want it tight, you want to give it a little bit of snugness. And then once you figure it out, put a little bit of glue, lay it over, just like so, and you have your loop. And then what I did, I took that little loop, put a little bit of glue on it like this, and I took and mounted it to the side of the, just like so. Now you can take your chalk and you have a chalk holder, because you know how kids are. Kids never put things back where it's supposed to be. So now you have a chalk holder, and this is your chalk pad. Then you just take and put you some thumbtacks up here at the top, and you can get some of those little let me show you. This is what I was talking about. You can take one of these little mini pads like this, and all I'm going to do is take my crocodile, and I'm going to come here. Let's see if I can find the center of this. Give me an idea. Okay. And I'm just going to punch a hole in it, like this. Then, you can set this like this. Put a paper in it like that. There's your notepad. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this other one that I'd already made, and I'm going to hook it over here to the other side of this, and about the same location, and I'll show you why. So now I can put a pencil. Yep, that one won't work. You can take and put a pencil like this in the loop, and it'll hang down. I wasn't thinking, was I? Well, but anyways, you can, like I said, just stick a pencil in it. I'm going to do it just like that. Don't have to be perfect. You can pull it out that way. Well, I'll tell you what, since that come off, we'll do it even differently. I'll move it closer to the bottom. That way, you can get it in and out easier. So, there's that. So now, this time, I think I'm going to really just do something differently. I think I'm going to just hand write in, let me find my black permanent marker. I think I'm just going to put notes and keys. And let it go at that. So, I hope you like my video. If you do, hit the like and subscribe. Every time you hit that like button, it helps me grow a little more. And if you want to see more videos, hit that bell over there, and depending on which one you choose will let you know each time I upload a video. And I hope everyone has a happy and blessed day. Thank you and have a wonderful day.